Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, we're back on the Mini. So today we've got some new parts, which is good. We haven't quite got all the bits we need to. I was hoping to do a few other things today or over the weekend, but there's a few parts that haven't turned up. One is I've ordered a new fuel filter because the tank's out. I thought put a new fuel filter in. So I've seen a couple of things on Facebook groups that I belong to, other people that have checked their fuel filter and noticed it quite filthy. So tank's out, they're not expensive, so I've ordered one. But let's go and have a look at what we've got, yeah? Right, so firstly, some more plastic clips. I bought some others before, but when I was working on the Mini 1, I noticed it was missing a number of clips as well. So I've ordered a few of these style, and a few of these supposed they're like screw-in style, but they're not really. Oop, losing some. We've got those for later. Some Loctite. Over here we've got new handbrake cables. So these, the R56 style, so the end here is, you can see it's got a slightly different shape, supposed to have a clip in it. So left and right. What have we got in here? So this is a complete rebuild kit for the rear calipers. So because I had no idea of what they would be like, obviously they're quite dirty like most would be, I've ordered up everything in a kit. So we've got a new piston in here, new rubbers and seals, and we've got to go through that. I still want to, obviously I've got to clean it up. Still hoping I can get AB powder coated to do that for me, because it's got a media blaster. It'd be so much easier. Although I've seen people do it, find other ways of doing it, but you know, we'll see. I think that would be more efficient. So the other thing, I've got some of the bolts that we're putting back in. I want to just check the thread, so I bought this is a M12 1.5 thread tap and die set, and I've just realized as well I should have ordered an M14 at the same time, but there's more 12s than there are anything else. Hubs, we've got some new hubs come in as well. I've again thought I could have possibly used the old ones, but they're a bit disgusting. And so we've put some new ones in, and that way I know the whole rear end is in top-notch condition. I'm considering painting these, so again, be interested in my thoughts. Obviously it'll be, if I do anything, it'll be that VHT, very high temperature paint. We'll put it on here. I know you don't put it on this surface, but we could certainly paint inside here, around this edge here, and we could certainly paint this back edge here. Obviously we won't be painting anything here, but certainly all these areas could be painted. So anyway, thoughts on that. I will be turning to my good man Craig Jones at Buzzweld to help me out with that, because who knows, we may see if we can colour tint that same as the yellow. So now what we're going to do for starters, we're going to get out the tap and die set. We're going to go through and check all the bolts. They're there. Okay, we've run one through. Well, I've run a couple through, but this one we've done properly. So as you can see, clean thread. Not so clean thread. Okay, 6 nice cleaned up bolts. I've got a couple more in there as well. I'm going to pull out and have a look at. We'll clean up as well. But what we're going to do first is going to take the tap here, and we are going to go in. We'll go in on this side here for this trailing arm holder, and we'll do all those. I'm going to pop the other one out. Obviously we put that one in just the other episode just to see, because you know, impatience and all that sort of thing. We'll pop that one out. We'll run the tap up into there and make sure that one's okay. And then I said what we'll do is we're going to start put the rubber stoppers back in, pulling the wires through from inside the car, and getting all the little plastic clips in place. We're going to clean up the tank. Like I said, I can't put it in yet because they need the fuel filter, but we'll go and clean it up and get it ready. But all of the breather pipes, etc., can all start going back in the car, and we'll put that up in there. Yeah, and once we get to that point, we'll see what we can do next. Right, I thought I'd give you a quick view from under the car here. There's 1, 2, and 3. Sorry for the lighting there. Third one there. Not quite sure how we're going to get up in there. We'll get these two alright. That one's going to be a bit more interesting. Going to have to find if I've got an extension to get into that because of this panel here. So anyway, we're going to tap those out. If you can see some little marks here, this is from when we put the cavity wax in. We squirted cavity wax in all the different holes. And then also what we'll do is we're going to, I dropped these bolts out again. I think these are M12 as well. We're going to make sure that these are, we've checked the thread on those. I've also got the M10s for the coilovers. We're going to do those as well. What we're going to be doing next, all the plastic parts, and we're going to start putting all the bits and pieces in for the tank, and start mounting some of the wiring and everything in the back there so we can get the tank in. Tank needs a bit of a clean, and the rubber pads need to be glued back on. We're going to do that, and then yeah. Right, I put some of the plastic clips under the car. I didn't film it because I didn't have the right camera equipment with me, but now we've got the tank breather pipe and the filler pipe. We're just going to clean those up and then put them in the car. Right, where are we at? So first thing is, I found my GoPro, so yay, we can do a little bit more time-lapse work. Just let's come underneath here and have a quick look. So we've the clips for the battery cable all okay. I've just put it up just to make sure it's all good. I'll have to disconnect it again when we run the brake lines, and just because they've got to feed up in that corner and go across. I took a couple of photos of this before I took it apart, but I don't think I did very good ones because there's a couple of things I'm not quite sure where they go, but we'll work all that out. I'm not overly concerned at the moment. As I start putting things back, I'll notice when something's not quite right. But anyway, we've got obviously the sensor cables out here. I'm just going to go around the side and poke these ones through. So I'll pop this battery cable back down out of the way. We're going to pop those out there. The other thing I want to try and pop out is we're going to try and pop out these handbrake cables, because these are now rubbish. So we'll get rid of these. Oh yes, got the rubber grommets in as well. These things here, I don't know if anyone else has had that. When I tried to take these off before, when I was a little while back, I'd try and take them off, and of course they snap quite nicely. So I just put riv nuts in there, and I've run a little bolt through there. It is quite useful. And so I've done that on both sides. So they're back up, and like I said, there's just going to be a couple of bits. I'm waiting for the fuel filter, and I've got to get these brake lines done so I can get those sort of up in place as well before we can get this done. Anyway, we're going to keep pushing on, see what we can get done. Okay, getting the handbrake cables undone. So the first thing, obviously I haven't shown you taking the plastic off, but there's a screw in the bottom of this back cup holder. There's a screw just underneath the gaiter here at the back, and if to get the gaiter off, just grab it and give it a yank. It'll pull off. A couple of screws, as I said, one just there at the back gaiter and one in the bottom of there. If you just then grab this at the back underneath, give it a yank, and it comes off, and it's attached. Sorry, very difficult. It's not great lighting in here, I'm afraid. It's attached to this thing. This has got 4 nuts, and once you undo that, you get down into the back. So there's one cable going to the handbrake, and then you can see just in there the 2 cables coming in. So we're just going to pull those out and drop those back through. just a quick little intro of words. So I had on this side, for some reason, instead of that side, I'd taped off these little rubber grommets and that one. So I'd forgotten about that, so I've just peeled those off and I've just put some wax over this. I had all this covered. So I've just done that up, so it should be dry enough now so we can start putting the fuel filler in. So just over there. So interesting, compare the audio as well, since we're now running that Shure microphone. This is now on the GoPro, so I am talking behind it, but anyway, I just thought I'd make that point just to see if there's any difference you might find. So yeah, sprayed that up a little bit, and as you can see here, we've got starting to get a few bits and pieces in. I think still got a couple of bits that I need to work out where they went, but for the moment I think we're all pretty good. I can't go too far at the moment because I need to put the brake lines in before other stuff goes up, and also I think I mentioned already, repeating myself again and again, the fuel filter for the petrol tank. I'm going to go out and clean the petrol tank at the moment and have a look at what else we need there, but we'll do what we can. We're going to put the fuel filler in for now, and yeah. Okay guys, we're going to end the video there. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you did, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. So coming up next, we've got the filter for the petrol tank, so we'll show you that. Got the brake pipes. What I did is went back to my local garage A&T and they just made up a length for me. It hasn't been bent yet, so we've got a pipe bender, and we're going to do that over the weekend. So hopefully we'll get that done. It's going to be a beautiful weekend by the looks of it, so fingers crossed I get as much time up there as possible. On the Land Rover front, I did take it for another drive the other weekend, and there's some issues that need to be looked into, so unfortunately I can't drive that anymore at the moment. Made some very weird noises, and I've noticed oil spurting out the back of the transfer case, so we're going to have to look into that, see what's going on. If I get enough time, we'll do some videos on that, but outside of that we still need to start the axle episode for the Land Rover. We'll try and get some of that done as soon as possible. Anyway, take care for now guys, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend.